Hi, and welcome to another episode of NCBA's Coffee Break, the podcast where we take a few minutes to connect with leaders shaping the future of our profession. I'm Nathan Wilner, your host, and today we're thrilled to introduce Emily Remmert, the new co-chair of NCBA State Creditors Bar Forum, or otherwise known as the SCBA Forum. Emily, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for having me.
I see from the background that you are living the life of a busy
Attorney, yes,
credit.
right behind me, that's the bankruptcy court. So
There you go. So you don't
this is
own
the
talk the
life of a
talk.
collections attorney is in your car a lot of the time.
Yeah. So we do appreciate you taking the time to kind of
Mhm.
talk with us. So first off, congratulations on stepping into this new role. For those who may not know you yet, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your background and what inspired
Mhm.
you to get involved in the State Creditors Bar Association in Oklahoma and as well as in NCBA's forum. Um, and let us know how you got here.
Okay. Well, it started about 18 years ago is when I started practicing law, and I've been practicing creditors' rights for the entire time. I took a brief pause to do domestic family law for about a year, and I quickly learned that that was not for me, and that I went back to collections, and I've been doing that ever since. I'm a partner at Robinson Hoover and Fudge in Oklahoma. We're in Oklahoma City, but we also represent clients in Arkansas, and we represent clients in all 77 counties in Oklahoma and in Arkansas as well. I'm one of the rare um, attorneys that I really love being a creditor's attorney. I think it's problem solving. It's helping people kind of get a handle on their debt and kind of work out a plan to get it paid where they're not in this sinking pit of despair all the time. And so I really enjoy it, and I really like helping people, and I think that's a big um, part of what we do.
That's great, and I love the way you frame it. That we're really problem solvers,
Mhm.
helping the consumer as much as our clients sometimes. One of the big themes that we spoke about when I was last in Oklahoma at the your creditors bar meeting, which was fantastic, was growth. Like, so what are some of your ideas for boosting engagement, especially in states where participation has been low?
That's tough. I mean, we've been working on that for several years, but some stuff that I've started to think about, one would be, maybe instead of a couple meetings a year, maybe we do a big one for the CLE, and then maybe we host some shorter happy hours, mixers, things to kind of, not as big commitments, like whole day commitments, half day commitments, something where people can, you know, come for an hour and get a taste of it, before maybe even before joining. Something else I've thought of is possibly increasing the fee to be a member, but getting a discount if you join the National Creditors Bar Association to kind of help with that membership. And also to have some sort of sweat equity. You could get a discount, maybe $50 off or $100 off if you join a committee or at our state in our state bar, something to get people more involved, because we have some that just continue to come every year to the or twice a year to the CLE, but don't really participate in the other events that we have where we're you know legislative committee events or community service opportunities. And so we really want to um, we want a robust state creditors bar, and so we're gonna try a lot of different things, and we'll share what works and we'll share what doesn't.
Yeah, so I mean, and I think one of the other things that you mentioned when we were chatting the other time was engaging younger attorneys and maybe even
Yes,
law
yes, yes,
students.
yes. Yes, and
So,
so we have engaged, and we had two interns this year that actually that started at Oklahoma City University. And so that's the way we think we're going to be able to get in and possibly get some law students um, interested in creditors' rights. I remember when I went to law school, when I started an internship doing creditors' rights, I didn't even know what it was, because you don't, that's not really discussed, and there's such a huge opportunity um, for careers in our industry, and it's exciting, it's changing, every day is different. And so I think getting that out to the law students as this is a possible career, and that this industry is a good industry to be in, is something we want to communicate with those law students. And so we're going to
no,
continue um, engaging them, and then also possible and having them as law school members without having to pay the fee, but they can come to the CLE and they would just help out a little bit.
Yeah. And what you may not know is that at the last Oklahoma Creditors Bar meeting, there was two law school professors there
Mhm.
giving CLEs,
Yes.
and they brought their classes with which were great and really engaged law students.
Mhm.
But even more than that, NCBA had a scholarship program, competition,
Yes.
and the winner was
Mhm.
a law student that I met that day,
Yeah.
from the Oklahoma City Law School. So if we're seeing the immediate payoff of the
Yeah.
engagement early on, and that was really, really something that I was really proud of, and you should be proud
Mhm.
of too. I mean, it was really nice
Yeah.
that happened. So
Yeah, that
anyway,
was really neat seeing all the law students in there with the professor. And that's something I had never really thought of, getting one of those professors to do the CLE, getting their students to come. And that exposes them to our industry and, gives us, point of contact for them.
right, and it also in a way gives, not that we necessarily need it, but it does give the industry credibility
Hmm.
to the law student to understand, like, you see your professor engaging with this group, you start to find out the details and how intricate the law can be. So I think
Hmm.
it's like a win-win all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
Um, So let's talk about legislation, because one of the big things that state creditors bars get involved in is legislative issues, usually opposing certain legislation in certain states.
Hmm.
So, monitoring and advocacy are at the heart of what we do. What trends are you seeing at the state level the members should keep an eye on?
Well, in Oklahoma, we're very business friendly, so we don't have at the moment any legislation out there that we've heard of or that's going to be proposed in the spring that would affect our industry. That could change, in January. We have what we do is, and we have a legislative committee in our state creditors bar that tracks legislation. And what they do is they go to a legislative reading day in Oklahoma that the state bar puts on, and they go through all the legislation that's being proposed, and they will flag anything that has any type of effect on our industry, read it through, and then if we need to get involved, we get involved. But we also, um, like you said, you can't just not have a relationship with the state legislature for years and then all of a sudden expect to, get um, bills signed off on when you want something or when you want something stopped or when you want something to go forward. So we do also have a lobbyist that we pay a little bit every month just to kind of be relevant. And then we are the legislative committee for our Creditors Bar Association at the state level is going to start having a legislative day where they go once a year during session. They meet with our legislators. They talk with them. They just get a handshake, even if nothing is pending. It just gets our face in the door. It gets our industry. It gives a face to our industry, and just a great way to be involved, at the local level.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think despite even right now we're using Zoom. Personal relationships are critical. So getting to know your elected officials, getting to know your state representatives, state senators. The best time to get to know them is when there's no problem, when
Yeah,
you're not asking for anything.
yeah.
So that's great. I'm really glad to hear that of the robust ideas of building out your advocacy program, but also taking those ideas to other states, to other SCBAs
Oh,
that might
yeah.
be help.
And sharing what works and what doesn't. I mean, that's like the meat of this, and that's why it's so valuable is just to share with one another, to warn one another, and to share the successes. And so we'll definitely be sharing what's working, and then also at that legislative level. I mean, we in Oklahoma, some of our garnishment laws hasn't changed in a long time. Some of our claim for exemptions and these things that benefit the debtors. And we're thinking, man, we should probably go in there and get ahead of it and maybe update those where it's more fair to debtors, also fair to us, and just get ahead of it before it changes where we don't have a voice. And so
Yeah,
those are also things to think about as well.
right. And especially in a state that's business friendly, there are opportunities to be proactive as well,
Mhm.
as you're mentioning. So yeah, that is great. So how do you see the State Creditors Bar Forum that you're now going to be co-chairing, helping members stay ahead of these challenges and changes?
Well, getting more people involved at the state level. And, some states don't even have a state creditors bar. So helping them, showing them, sharing bylaws from different states that have already created them, encourage them at the state level to join the National Creditors Bar. Because, I mean, information is power, just like we said before, sharing the successes, sharing the warnings. Um, Also partnering up with other states that touch us. And we had a CLE this last, I think it was in September, where we partnered up with a collection, some collection agencies that were in Arkansas, Missouri, some states that kind of touched us, that where we could all, as a larger, geographical area, see what's working and what's not, close enough for people to drive a couple hours, and that was really nice. And so we want to continue to do that. And we think that's a really great way to kind of grow our regional creditors bar and to see, because things that are going on in Missouri are likely going to, different legislation that is proposed there could follow over here. So we want to know what they're doing. We want to know what their risks and warnings are. So I think partnering up with other states, sharing the cost, sharing the benefits is a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're getting close to the end of our cup of coffee, so to speak. And before we wrap up, what would you say is next on your to-do list as the co-chair of the SCBA Forum?
I'm so excited to get started. I love being involved. I love this industry. My heart's in it. I'm going to sit and learn and observe a lot because I've just started and to see what this is all about. But also, to really get Oklahoma involved in at the national level, really encourage our members. Again, like I said, giving them some sort of discount at our state level so that they'll join the national. Because I mean, the more that join the national, the more powerful we're going to be. So, really getting our membership more engaged at the national level, law school intern engagement, supporting grant opportunities for other state bar officials, helping other state bars get off the ground. Uh, I'm I'm ready to go.
No, it's exciting, and I love the enthusiasm. So Emily, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today and
you.
sharing your vision. We're excited to see the impact you're going to make as the co-chair. And for our listeners, stay tuned for more updates from NCBA's SCBA Forum and ways that you can get involved. And until next time, to our listeners, keep advocating, stay informed, and as always, stay caffeinated. Have a great day.
Thank you, Nathan. Thanks for having
Thanks,
me.
Emily. Be well.